This is the Regent's Canal. We were in central London, and what's so great is if I want to get into the absolute buzz of it, I can in 10 minutes. But I can also just be secure and entire here in this space. So it's really quite extraordinary and magical.
Hi! You found it!
Yeah, I did. How did you find this spot?
It just came, yeah, I followed, I had to go through many sort of investigative routes and pathways, but yeah, it's quite hard to find a boat. The people who have been down here have been here for years.
Do you know the history of these? Is it a barge?
No, this is a narrowboat.
So the narrowboat, what is a narrowboat then?
Literally, I think that's why. It's narrow, yeah, not
Were
very
they
wide.
made for canals then or something? Or
Why? Well, okay, narrowboats maybe are traditionally English. I'm just making this up. And then the Dutch barge is traditionally Dutch. And I don't know why. Maybe because the canals are narrower in London, and I mean, that's as wide as it is. I don't mind this. I love the confinement. For me, it feels like a gypsy caravan floating. So I don't want anything bigger. I don't need anything bigger.
what?
First thing I did when I bought it was put a wood burner in. It's so important to have this. I think is the heart of the boat.
Wow, you don't worry about a fireplace on a wooden boat?
No, my father did. He said you can't have a wood burning stove on a wooden boat. But yes, I can. Kitchen. This tour's not going to take very long. It was really important for me to change what I didn't like. There was a disgusting sink. I can't stand plastic. I had to go and hunt for treasure, which I did. This is an amazing Georgian wine cooler. Everything's from car boots and eBay. This is an eBay. So that's really cool. I found the perfect enamel bowl to go in it. And just, yeah, things I've just found along the way. Everything is found. Everything is old. This is an old bureau that was cut up into various parts. I think it just adds to the journey of the whole thing. Usually I have food in here. I need to go shopping. I'm covering up my boiler with books. Had to get a new oven recently.
What is this? I mean, is it a gas or?
Gas. So oven. But you go buy the gas and you fit it in the end of the boat.
Okay.
The fridge is hiding behind here. So this is what I can fit. So it's big enough. It's big enough. I'm really excited about this curly kale. I just picked it from the garden. I didn't grow it. I would like to pretend that I did, but I didn't. There's this girl who used to live down here. She's moved to the other end, and I said to her last night, "Is that kale?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Can I pick it?" And so I did. Here we come into the bathroom. The bath with, usually it's got something stored in it, but it's perfect. It's just big enough. Let's get the magazines out.
Does it work?
Yes. It's coming from the water tank.
Where's it going?
I'm out. It's just into the canal. You know, using just natural. Yeah. So, I have a friend who's got a proper full length. Oh my god, that is a bit of a dream. But you know, this is good enough. Let's not wish for what we don't need. There's my closet.
So you just stack?
I probably could have tidied it slightly, but you know, it's a good size. I've got a lot of clothes stuffed in there. Here's the toilet, and here's the bed. And then we open up to the back.
It's like double bed, kind of.
Yes, yes, I can. That two people can fit in here. I tend to sleep with my head here and going down here. Like this. Oh, no. I love my bed. Delicious. Whenever I get into bed, my heart always rises. I usually have a candle. I bring a candle to bed. I just find it so snuggy. And just to have that serenity, because it's really quiet. We're in central London, but it's so quiet and really peaceful. a lock at the door. My family home was very long and thin. It was a townhouse in Winchester. So maybe I'm used to sort of little spaces. It's like a doll's house. Hi. It doesn't feel small. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because you've got the outside space and you're always coming and go in and out. The space, the external space is shared, and maybe it's because it's on the water, and the water's always moving. And so this is lovely in the summer. Hello. Oh look, there's a boat going past.
And these canals go everywhere, right?
Yeah, right up to the north of England.
You need permits to go.
The only way you could get a mooring here is if you rent a boat or you buy a boat on the mooring. So you're buying the boat with the mooring.
Okay.
If you don't have a mooring, you constantly cruise, and you've got to move your boat every 2 weeks. It's quite an extraordinary way to live if you are constantly moving, because if you can imagine saying, where do you live in London? And you say, well, I live all over the place. In this area, it would be so much more expensive to rent a flat. But so in that respect, it is cheaper, but it's constant upkeep.
And where do you get your water?
I fill it up out here. At the end is the little where I fill it up with water. My tank is here. There's a little knob, and then I put the hose into it, and that's my tank. My tank is here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So here's the toilet. So that's what you pee into and whatever else you do into, and then it collects at the bottom. This is quite an interesting part of boat life. You have to empty that. That's not for everyone. Getting rid of your own waste, but it's fine for me.
What do you do exactly?
You take it down on a boat, or I used to wheelbarrow it at the beginning. It would be great to have a composting toilet. That's what I should do. But for now, this is what I have. And then, some people have another type of toilet where they get it sucked out. Look at all the toilets lined up.
Those are toilets.
Those are toilets. Those are the toilets. I just like the idea that it doesn't sit in the boat for long. But I couldn't do that. On my boat, I could not have plastic toilets lined up on top of it. It would do my head in. Everything's constantly flowing. You're getting rid of the waste. You're filling up the water tank with water. Water! So that's how I fill my water up. That's my gas. You're changing the gas. You're getting electricity cards. This is my electricity. So you use little cards and you jam them. You buy the cards and you jam them into that little thing. I've got 1.42 and a cobweb. I tend to forget, and then I'm like, oh, my electricity's run out. Then go and buy a card. Some people are more organised.
So it makes you very aware of what you're spending. I mean, you have to.
Absolutely.
And then you're plugged in. You're actually plugged in.
You're plugged in, then when you go off, you unplug. So this is where my engine is, and this is the steerer. And you have a long pole that goes on. This is forwards, and that's back. And stand here, and I really should just take it out. Boats should move, but I'm like a snail with its shell. I'm scared to take it out, and it's really old and it's wooden and it's built over the gunnels, so it's hard to get around. But boats do, yeah, they go off. This is my new extension. Da-da-da! Love it. This is going to be me in the summer when it arrives. This is my garden. I grow herbs. This is my thyme, my rosemary. This is my outdoor space. And that orange hammock down there is from Eliza, my niece. So that's where we hang out.
Wow, and then people have stuff all over, like bikes and hammocks and...
Yeah, they make it their own.
Yeah.
Because of the outdoor space, it just feels like you've got space. You don't need much more.
Do you want to live in something bigger?
I was thinking recently that I do, because I want to grow. I want to have a child. And I was thinking that maybe I'm like a fish. You know, when fish are kept in small containers, they don't grow. So I was thinking, am I that fish? Do I need to put it in a bigger container? And then, is that part of the problem? Do you know what I'd love? Maybe to have 2 boats next to each other. Yeah. That would be amazing. And I'd love to have a child on a boat. I think it would be great. There are some people who do, but mostly people don't. Mm-hmm. And I just think, why? Everyone used to in the olden days. Mm-hmm. It really is cold, isn't it? Yeah, it's just incredible. I think we're too used to our luxuries now, aren't we? Nothing's meant to be hard anymore. I think it's really good to have a little bit of hardship, to really appreciate how you live and where it's all coming from, and that's a luxury in itself, isn't it? Yeah. So this has been warming on the stove. This is hot water. I'm obsessed with anything from the past, and I love that in a way that this is like how people used to live, in a way. You know, warming the hot water on the stove.
What's attractive to you about the past?
It's when things were made by hand, and because of that, pieces had more of a soul. It really means something to it. It really does. I'm just making some cards for people. So I just found this music sheeting recently, and it's just so beautiful, like the titles of the songs. So I'm just using them to make cards. The 90 go in the wood. So this is like the title, and then the rest of the sheet I'll make into an envelope. Come back to that. And then I'll just type some words. I make things from my findings, really. That's worn with love. Things like this, I make like this plumb bob. I don't work without you. So this, a broken fan. And I just thought, my God, it would be fantastic to have it as a beautiful headdress. So yes, it would be a few pieces, then with feathers and ribbon, but it could be amazing.
So you work from home?
I do. I'm just trying to think what to write next. It's not quite flowing how I wanted it to flow, so I've got a bit stuck.
Do you feel like being in a small space is beneficial to working?
Maybe it sort of holds you, sort of makes you feel safe and sort of concentrates the creative process. Oh look, there's a canoeist. What's just so special about living on a boat in the community is that you never feel alone, but you have your own space. There's always life moving around you in every different way, the elements and people. I mean, I'm just looking out as I'm talking, and the hammock's just flying around like a sail in the wind there. So the people will pass, and the cats, the dogs, and the birds. It's all going on around you.
You're just not in London, really.
Yeah.
You're floating.
That's it.